was everybody's favorite monster. Born in the jungles of Guatemala and brought to America legally by a family of Puerto Ricans, the Cookie Monster grew up a life that most don't know. His fame and fortune of Sesame Street led to a large cookie addiction, violence, discrimination, and much, much more. How could this happen to this poor blue furry creature? This is his story.
It all began whenever we were on our annual cat hunting tour of New York City. You know, a family's got to eat every now and then. As I aimed my sights, I noticed that this cat was blue, and cats aren't blue. I've never seen a blue cat. And so I decided to hold my fire and walk up to this blue furry thing. And sure enough, it turned out what you now know as the Cookie Monster. And that's how we first Cookie Monster. We later learned from him that he was caught by this poacher in Guatemala. And he was then captured by this crude trap in which they lured him in. He was later then brought into America by a family of Puerto Ricans who left him in Miami, where he spent his college years at the university.
I knew it was going to be interesting going to Miami University when I saw on like the transcript where they show who your roommate is, it said Cookie Monster. And then I figured, this is like, what the hell's going on? And then moving day came around, and I'll tell you what, we started off on the wrong foot completely. Well, I wanted bottom bunk, but he doesn't have any fingers. He's like this, so he can't really, climb to the top bunk. And, he wanted to put posters of Muppets all over the place. And he would bring women, strange women, home after, hurricane, go Miami, after football games. It was, Muppets and people like, I remember this one Muppet, huge. You know what I'm talking about. But huge cans, and I've never been the same since. In fact, I've had to go back to the doctor several times. So, most people don't know that Cookie Monster played football, and here he is making a touchdown. That is him. He had to shave his fur off to be eligible. So, that's him being a little cocky. This is actually the greatest thing he's ever done. Just keep watching, and you'll see. Here's the point after. The Florida International was a rival college just about 9 miles away that, they're a bunch of homos. And because of what Cookie Monster did, he started this huge fight. And that's not him being tackled. That's some white dude. I don't know who that is. And, these guys are getting all pissed and shit. And, it's just... It was easily the coolest and only thing that Cookie Monster's done. You can see him. He just hit that guy in the head with the helmet. And later on... coming up, that's pretty cool. You'll see. He gets, he's about to body slam. If you look in the corner, it should be highlighted coming up. Yeah, this is him. This is going to be really cool. Just watch. This is my favorite part. I watched this for a long time. And boom! Yep, that was Cookie Monster. He kicked his ass. So, yeah, that was pretty badass. I had actually a lot of chicks just started throwing themselves at us. With that. So, they're all ugly chicks, but chicks nonetheless. And we won the game 35-0. A little fun fact a lot of people don't know is that Cookie Monster is in fact a music major. That song, C is for Cookie, that's good enough for me.
Now what starts with the letter C? Cookie starts with C. Let's think of other things that starts with C. Who cares about other things? C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. Oh, cookie starts with C.
Yeah, that took him like 9 10 weeks to write, and that wasn't even the original version. The original version was more like, cookies are the greatest. That was bananas. It was something like that, the original version, and, you know, his voice isn't naturally that low. He had to go to a lot of acting classes to get to that, you know, like, it's for cookie kind of voice. It's actually kind of melodramatic, you know, kind of like a hippie. Like, if I knew a lot of hippies, being from Miami, I don't know any hippies, but if I knew some hippies, I'd bet they would sound like that.
Soon after college, Cookie Monster got a job on the hit children's show Sesame Street. He fit in great with the cast, and all seemed to be going well. Then things started to turn for the worst. Cookie Monster's longtime castmate and friend, Big Bird, was married to a beautiful young woman. But Cookie Monster soon became jealous of his big yellow friend, and one night, after a show, he slept with Big Bird's wife. When Big Bird found out, relations were cut off between the two cast members and longtime friends.
Not too long after that incident with Big Bird's wife and Cookie, things really started going downhill. And I really began to notice it whenever Cookie was invited to the Martha Stewart show.
Please.
I had no idea that Cookie Monster was so voracious and so...
Please.
You're a little bit rude, Cookie
Please give me
Monster.
cookie. Please give me
We had to
cookie.
tie him up.
Me begging.
And
Please.
we're working on Project. This is Project Cookie Monster, actually. And these wonderful little cookies, these are cutout cookies, and these are so...
You know, I kept in touch with him over the years, and you know, when he started hitting the drugs, that's when
Come on,
things
come
started
on.
really down here with his wife. And you know, he went to rehab for it, and I kind of felt bad because while he was in rehab, I'm not gonna lie, I was banging his wife.
After being fired from Sesame Street for having an affair with a celebrity guest, Cookie Monster then tried an assortment of different jobs, but none of them would seem to have the effect on his career that Sesame Street did. Cookie Monster needed help, and he needed help fast.
When I first met Cookie Monster, I was kind of thinking, man, I don't know if I really want to help this patient. He just kind of came off wrong. I didn't really like him too much. But, and he always broke the rules.
Contraband check. What are these?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know how they got there.
Well, I think you do know.
No. Derek was in here earlier. He was making the beds. He probably put them. I was in the John. You guys are Nazis, man! You're freaking Nazis!
But, you know, Cookie Monster, he got pretty depressed in his 5-year stint. You know, that's a pretty long time to be, you know, going through withdrawals on cookies. But I really didn't like him. I probably gave him the least amount of attention. And, you know, we usually keep most of the patients on, you know, suicide watch. Well, I was asked multiple times why Cookie Monster wasn't on suicide watch, and I just frankly said, because I don't care. I wanted him to die, and I was really disappointed that in 5 years, I mean, come on, 5 years, he never tried to commit suicide? I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, we basically gave him the rope to hang himself with, and he just wouldn't do it. I think it's because he wanted cookies so bad, and that's how bad his addiction was. He wouldn't kill himself because he wanted cookies.
3 weeks after Cookie Monster was released from rehab, he was walking down the street one glorious morning and was stabbed and killed. But who could have done this to this poor blue furry creature? Many believe his arch nemesis, Big Bird. But 28 days later, we found Big Bird's body in the back of a truck. So it looks like the killer is still on the loose.